Hello, screenwriters, and welcome to Writing for Screens, the Screenwriting Step-by-Step Project, episode 181. My name is Glenn Gers, and I come to you every Monday through Friday, if I can make it, at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to let you look over my shoulder, share my screen as I write a script, and I am doing this in order to teach a part of screenwriting that I think is under-taught, which is not what makes a great script or what makes a script sell or win a contest, but simply how to get a script written day by day, scene by scene, line by line. And so what I'm going to do is let you watch me walk through that process and talk about what I'm doing when I do it, in the hopes that these tricks and methods that I use can help you when you are facing the blank page. Because everybody has to do it their own way. You've got to figure out what works for you. I am just trying to show you some of the tools and methods that I figured out in a 25-year career writing for TV and movies. And so I just want to try and offer these things in case they're useful to you. Don't have to watch all of these. It's not the only way to do it. It's not the best way to do it. It's just what I think is some practical tips, which means you don't have to watch all 181 hours of this. Just watch a little piece, go back here and there, try and get a sense of what it's like to do an outline, what it's like to begin a rough draft. All those things are things I discuss as I'm doing them. Check them out. That's really all I have to say about this, except if you are finding that I'm talking about things you don't quite really feel like you're getting the lesson, I did the lessons. The lessons are here on my channel. The first 3 sections of my channel page are Screenwriting Essentials, Screenwriting Tools, Skills, Craft, and the process/being a writer. And you can see that I take on things like thinking in scenes, dramatic action, genre, flashbacks, all sorts of different topics. And I try and do about a 10-minute lesson that culls down everything that I think is useful about that in ways that I hope you can take away and try for yourself. That's what this channel is all about. That said, I'm going to briefly say hello to a lot of people who have come on here. Manga Express, good vibes to you too. Nice to meet you. I don't think we've ever spoken before. Hello, this is Kitschy. Hey, Jean. Kelly McBride, howdy to you. Another newbie to me, I believe. Hello, Marta Latoso. You've been absent. Well, it was your birthday. Happy birthday. Good for you. We don't ask anyone's age here. All ages are welcome. All ages can learn to write. Hey, Tavana. Everybody's here. We are working towards, let's get this going. Working towards the end of my second draft here. I started with just a couple sentences. I just had a rough idea of a project, and what I wanted to show you was how I built that into an outline, and what I call an overview, which is just all the stuff that's sort of general that doesn't fit into the outline. An outline is a list of scenes, because this is really important. Learn to think in scenes. Learn everything in a script is in a scene. There's nothing in a script that you don't want to get in there. You have to figure out some way to put it in a scene, because they can't shoot everything unless it's in a scene. So therefore, one of the biggest things I think of is trying to learn how to make your outline into a list of scenes. Maybe scenes you haven't written yet, maybe scenes you don't really know how they work, but you're like, I need a scene about this. You put that into the outline, and that will help you, because then anything that goes into the script, it's in a scene, and that's great. Anything that doesn't fit in there, you put in what I call the overview. It's kind of the Bible, the summary, the big picture. Okay. Yeah, Marta Latoso, happy birthday to you. Good evening, Rachel, and happy birthday to Marta Latoso. We should probably have some kind of birthday cake when people have birthdays. All right, so the last thing that I did was I realized that the end of this scene that I was working on needed Madeline to make a speech, but I didn't really know what the speech was going to say yet. I had a rough idea of the topic, but I didn't know what she was actually going to say, so I just put in a placeholder, which was, there's a speech that goes here, and it's got to be her taking her stand about this topic, But that's all I had. Now the question is, am I going to go back to it and try and write that speech, or am I going to move on and come back to it later? Let me take a quick stab at it. Let's see. The thing I'm afraid of is repeating myself. That earlier Madeline kind of made took a little stand. A couple of times she's talked about topics along this, but I think what she's really going to say is you shouldn't mess with serial killers. I want you all to listen to me. She's talking to not just Xena, who's in front of her, but Xena is holding a phone on a Zoom meeting. So she's really talking to all of them. I'm going to make this into dialogue because it's dialogue. Okay. All right. I want you all to listen to me. I want you all to listen to me. I want you all to listen to me because this is the last time I'm going to say this. I don't know about that. I want you to listen because this is very important. It's very important. Serial kill. Murder is not fun. Murder is not fun. Is not a game. Should not be messing with serial killers you should not be messing with serial killers. Okay. I am taking what we found killers. I'm taking what we found. Well, at least now. I want you all to listen to me because this is very important. Murder is not fun. It is not a game. You should not be messing with serial killers. But really? Neat. Yeah, somebody. Thank you, Tavana. I had no idea. I don't know if my search. I honestly don't. I don't spend a lot of time on YouTube. I mean, I spend a lot of time on YouTube, but I don't actually have not had time to watch as much YouTube as I used to. Now that I am making it and trying to live my life in the additional time. So that's really cool. Somebody actually gave me some great advice in the comments. I believe they talked about retitling some of my episodes to be less screenwriting specific and more storytelling, because the truth is a lot of what I'm teaching is not just for screenwriters. So that is nice. Thank you. Thank you so much for telling me that. Get off my lawn. That's it. Get off my lawn. Get off my lawn. I'm taking what we found to the police. What I found. Get off my lawn. I'm taking what we found. What I found. What I found. Get off my lawn. Scram, scat, scram, scoot, scoot, scoot. How many people here? Let's just find out. We got a sample size of 20 here. How many recognize "get off my lawn" as what a cranky old person says to neighborhood kids, or is that just an American reference that you guys may not know? Okay. What I found. Scram. Scoot. Scoot. I like scoot. Scoot. Mad. Okay, I'm adding pages, but gosh darn, this is good. Yes, indeed. The "get off my lawn" would have been good, said by Clint Eastwood. At this point, Clint Eastwood should not say anything, in my opinion. I believe he honestly should retire. Hot take. I apologize for the Clint Eastwood fans. I believe that Clint Eastwood has done a lot of mediocre work and a few astonishing gems. But lately he just should stop. However, since we are just making stuff up, oh good, yay! Scotland. I wish I had a lawn. Don't you though? Although here in Los Angeles, you're not supposed to have a lawn. What you want is some gravel and some succulents. Yes, he's awesome. Cool. South Carolina, really nice side. Get off my property. That's cool. Thank you, Tabata. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Division 05. When Xena starts to argue. I like that her name is Mad. What is she? Is she puzzled? Is she... Yeah. It was Cry Macho that made me cry out. The Mule was about 60% I couldn't watch, but there was actually some stuff in the Mule that was pretty good. Anyway, yeah. Okay. Cry Macho was the one where I was just like, I just can't watch this. The Mule I watched. Okay. Something takes... Hello? All right. Well, now this has gotten much longer than I intended, but dang, this is a better scene. You call my Madeline a bad dog. Yeah. By the end of this series, people may be calling Madeline a bad dog too. that does seem like it will come up. All right. This is good. I am pleased with this. I didn't expect to be pleased with this, but I am. All right, cool. So now what I want to do is cut down this, which is good because I just added, so I got to cut. And boop. All right, intercut. All right. A picturesque, even cliche New England coastal town. Fishing boats at a dock, a row of local shops and restaurants, an old boy clangs now and then. Seagulls cry. Okay, well now we don't need that because I was doing that for sound. Yeah, I like it too. It's like this is like step. Yeah, and they get off my left. Yeah, well, like I knew that. You don't have to correct you don't have to correct typos here. We're all friends. I certainly make enough typos. I'm just gonna take out some words here. In his 70s, wrinkled, weathered, white-haired, workman. Whoa. Okay. Non sequitur from Division 5, late finding severance. Yeah, I heard it. I heard good things about it. It seemed so abstract that I was a little afraid to get into it, but I am hearing great stuff about severance, so it is on my list. Okay, meanwhile, Jeff says, Jeff, by the way, how's your car? So I just crossed the finish line on a first draft I'd pluck along since February 1st. Once again, you people are making me look bad because you're doing a first draft since February 1st. I've been doing a first draft, I think, since October. Actual story I wanted to tell didn't present itself until I was on page 70. Have you ever encountered this before, and how do you deal with it? I'm thrilled my story finally arrived, but major overhaul time. This is interesting. Now, Pedro says cut, but. Here's the question. When you say the story didn't present itself until you were on page 70, do you mean you didn't know what the story was, and so you were just writing stuff hoping to find it? Or do you mean that the story you intended to tell somehow got this very, very long lead-in? I'm just not sure what you mean, because certainly I have, as I said the other day, one of my biggest problems as a beginning writer was that my first acts were 50 pages long. That the beginning of my story, I spent a lot of time doing setup. It was always very entertaining setup. People kind of were like having a good time, but the truth is that things didn't start to happen. The actual urgency of the story didn't kick in until around page 50. So yes, it did present itself. And but that wasn't because the story, when you say the actual story I want to tell didn't present itself. I'm not sure what that means, in the sense that did it not present itself to you, or did it not get going in the action? So let me know, and then I will give further advice. All right. Who am I speaking with? Okay, now here's the thing. Clearly he's saying it's for you. So clearly Norman already spoke to Deakins, and Deakins already asked to speak to someone. And they got it clear that he is... so I believe, is this George Roisemount's widow? Yes, ex-widow. Yes. Okay, there. I keep the joke. Ex-widow is the joke. I think it's a joke. I think that's funny. My outline was faulty. My main character is poorly fleshed out. Well, these are things I would change if I were you. If my main character was poorly fleshed out. I only learned that as I crossed the meridian into Act 3. The answer is you may indeed be cutting, or it may be a case of moving things around. My answer would be, it seems to me like you're going to have to, now that you know what it's about, yes, you will have to rewrite a lot of the first 70 pages. It's some of it may be cutting, some of it may be rewriting. I don't know the specifics, but I do know that I think what you're saying is you learned things by writing the first draft. That is often the point of the first draft. Even when you think you know what you're writing about or how your story should play, very often when you actually write it, you learn so much that you didn't know, especially as a beginning writer. You think things theoretically, you make plans, and then, everybody has a plan until they get punched. When you start to write it, you learn things. That is part of the process. The whole idea of writing, when people say writing is rewriting, what they actually mean is everything. Rewriting is writing. All of it is writing. There's no like, oh, I've got this and now I just correct it. I go through and fix things. That's not what it is. Rewriting is I am now looking at my project and I am understanding things which I learned as I was writing it. Sometimes you actually figure them out. Like you say, oh, I didn't really know why he's doing this. Let me ask it now because I'm forced to write lines. And when you're forced to write dialogue, when you're forced to write scenes, you suddenly say, I don't actually know why he's doing this. And that is a great thing. That's what writing is about. So the answer is, the first draft is just a step in the progress. There's first outlining, then there's writing the first draft, then there's going back to the outline and thinking about what you've been doing and rethinking it, and then writing a second draft, which is sometimes rewriting pieces, sometimes cutting and writing new pieces. That is all absolutely normal. The specifics of how you'll do it it depends on what's right and wrong with your story. But the answer is there is absolutely nothing wrong with discovering as you write. Say half of what I learned, beside what the actor's doing, was showing up here at 5 p.m. Central. Oh, yes. My car is probably, yes. Cool. Good. Meanwhile, Tavana had the same problem. Started with the meat, page 70, and changed the setup to a prologue. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, epilogue. Yeah. Prologue and epilogue are the scenes that are relevant for that chapter. Wow, that sounds complicated, but it sounds like you know what you're doing. And I like that. That is good. As Division 505 says, as a newbie, it's tough to know at what point someone will feel your story has launched. I always have this question. I can absolutely tell you that the most important thing to do is get into the story as soon as you can. There is nothing wrong with starting your inciting incident as the first scene if you want. Speaking of which, I think I did. Didn't I do I thought I did. Thought I did a video on the inciting incident, but I can't find it here in my list of thumbnails. I think I just didn't slug it in there, but I am pretty sure that I did a whole video about the inciting incident. So you should look at that, because it's very possible. The thing about getting your story started is you don't need to have things before the story starts. You can if you want, but essentially that's part of the story. It's not like the story hasn't started. Your characters are like waiting off stage being other people. When you meet your characters, your story starts. So get going. Maybe what's happening to them is they are living their lives before a thing is going to come and change it. But then that's still the story. That's one of the most important things, is don't waste those opening scenes introducing something, quote, normal. Normal is still interesting. Normal still has to be a story. You don't want to spend a second of your story not telling your story, because why? Why would you do that? So yeah. Okay. On the other hand, it does not mean that something vastly dramatic has to happen on the first page. Although in Division 5 script, it does. Okay. Do you have any finished outlines you could show us so we can see what a finished product looks like? You mean like the outlines of this script that I am writing are all available to you folks. If you go to, get ready for this, you go to Writing for Screens. This is my website, and that purple part is what you'll land on. And if you just scroll down, it will take you past some introductory stuff to a grid. The grid looks like this, and if you go to the corner, it will have a rectangle, which is actually a button, which says Creative. If you click on that, it will take you to a bunch of different things. One of which is, it says, I think I've changed the title of this, but it's the drafts and outlines of this script. And you will find whole bunches of outlines. In other words, not just the outline, but different drafts of the outline, including the latest one that I'm working from, plus all the drafts of the script. Every couple of weeks, I've been putting it up there. So you can find all of those outlines. Essentially, there's never a finished product of the outline. There's just the point at which you abandon it because you're just working on the script. Like when you're in production, you often don't bother to fix things in the outline. But until then, your outline is just whatever at least the way I work an outline. For me, an outline is just your things to do list. So that means every single item on your outline, you're constantly working with it. It's never finished. Even the script is kind of not finished. So Sean, let me know if that helps you. Yes, the inside, I was struggling with the wrong countries and I sliced out some use. Yay, good. Okay, the inciting incident is that link. Yes, there is a link. I'm pretty sure I did a video about the inciting incident. It is terrifying that I can't remember all the videos I did. Okay, and I've got over 20 more that I am scripting and will be shooting over this summer and releasing. 20 more, I think. Anyway, okay. Cut. I love these lines, but they no longer are appropriate, so I'm going to cut them. Is this George Roisman's hotel? I like a little hesitance here. A little hesitation. What I'm thinking now is, I think because of the way that this is going, I'm going to actually put Elmore first. Picture. Ah, look, this is the link, home. Thank you, home. Put the link there, but also you can just go to my channel, and it will be, this would probably be in screenwriting tools, skills, and craft. You will find the inciting incident, where I was just brilliant about the subject, I am sure. Okay. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you. Who is this? I'm sorry for your loss. Yes, well, X. Uh, 6 questions after I've started with a scene to give it shape. It helps me get to the point quick and then clarify it. Yes, me too. Me also. Me too, having taken on a different meaning lately. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I honestly, the point about this 6 questions thing, it's not like a magic answer key. It's a working tool. That's the important thing about all the stuff I'm giving you. It's not the answer. It's the way to figure out the answer for yourself, which is why this is really important. A process of questions. It's all about asking questions of yourself. Okay. You know what? I'm going to take out coastal because if there's fishing boats at a dock, you got coastal already. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. Okay, I'm sorry for your loss. I like that because it's all like he's not quite getting to his point. However, that is a little weird. I'm sorry. Well, although what he's saying is, I'm sorry, and then for your loss. I'm going to leave it. Thank you. Who is this? I just wanted to say I didn't do it. There we go. I don't know. No hesitation there. I just wanted to say it. To focus. Focus. Fuchs. Okay. I'm going to put a semicolon. Semicolons really don't show up very often in screenplays, but gosh darn it, I'm going to put one in. Okay, why? Oh, this is interesting. Norman moves closer. I'm just wondering. I think that's overkill. I think that is over describing. All right. Oh, that's interesting. I have questions. uh, hmm. But you are the one that George was podcasting. I hate that. I never liked that name. But you are the. See, here's the thing. I never liked that name. And then there's like 4 or 5 lines. And then she says, but you are the one. I'm wondering if this should. Yeah. I never liked that name. But you are the one George was podcasting about. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I have watched Breaking Bad twice all the way through, and Better Call Saul. Yes, well, keeping up with it, I've watched I think the first season twice, but I will eventually watch the whole thing twice. I'll probably watch all of them 2 or 3 times. It is without question some of the best writing on TV, some of the best writing for screens that you can find anywhere. It's very unique. It's very distinctive. Each one has its own qualities. Not everything should be like that. Better Call Saul, particularly, is pushing the envelope on the slow burn, the taking 5 or 6 episodes to get around to a single plot turn. I think it's amazing, but it's not the only way to write. However, it is incredible to learn from, to learn character building, scene writing, dialogue writing, clever. I mean, forget the visuals, forget all the style. Just the writing is, yes, amazing. You're calling to tell me you didn't do it. Tell me you didn't kill him. You didn't kill him. You didn't murder or poison him. You didn't kill him. You didn't kill him. Kill him. Yeah. And you're calling to tell me you didn't kill him. Look, I just heard about this on the news, and it hurt because it just felt it just felt unsound. Someone is taking my private issues and using them. It's insane. It's insane. It's unfair. It's insane. It's unfair. And it hurt. This is insane. This is insane. Yeah. Look, I just heard about this on the news, and this is insane. Yeah. This is insane. It's unfair. I think insane, yeah, I think insane covers the unfairness of it. This is insane. Someone is taking my private issues and using them. I don't even know why. I don't even know why. I don't even know why. I just want you to know I had nothing to do with this. I stopped long. I haven't done anything in a long time. Can I talk to him? That's good. I'm sorry you're talking to them. You should tell them. You should tell them. You should tell the police. I can't. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. You can if you're innocent. All right. I never watched the whole series. Like to jump the shark a little with each season finale. Jumping the shark suggests like losing its mind, and in a sense, if you just watch the pilot, it's jumping the shark. Yes, with each season finale, with each section of the story, it was constantly pushing towards bigger, more ornate, more startling and shocking. Well, not always bigger. Actually, what's interesting is that now and then it would push towards a very small, personal extreme. Some of the biggest extremes in the last part were just emotional between the characters. But yes, not a bad thing. I say there's no right or wrong here. It's just an opinion. Breaking Bad stayed consistent to the style and the level that it introduced. What's amazing about the pilot of Breaking Bad is how nuts it is. It goes crazy with time. It brings very hyped up, comic, tragic events and visuals, all in the pilot. So that's fascinating. Yes. All right. I can't do that. Yeah. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna do this. this is... Yeah, there we go. Cuts. Now and then we cut. Okay. I didn't do this. That doesn't mean... Sure, I know I didn't do this. It doesn't mean I'm innocent. Well, you should tell the police. You can't do that. You can if you're innocent. If you're really innocent. Clearly, you are really innocent. I didn't do this. That may not be enough. May not be the end of it for the police. That was a better line. Somebody agreed that was a better line. All right. Okay. This is good. This is good. Yes, I have heard of that. I have heard of the blood list, the dark blacklist. I'm not sure about that line. All right, this has been good. This is. I'm actually going to stop here because this has been a good run. I got to page 60. By the way, let's just see. Yeah, I thought so. All right, so we're on page 70. So I've got 10 more pages. Only 10 more pages. And that's not bad. I'm all involved in this now. Just reading through. Yeah, this is good, but I'm gonna get to this later because we're gonna get into some new stuff. Is there a point in writing where you need to make a decision for an alternative? Not sure what you mean. I mean, essentially, every point in writing, you're needing to make a decision for an alternative. Alternative what? You mean like a different way to go? Yeah. Oh, wow. This is kitschy. Collect scripts like crazy. Good for you. Yeah, it is really rolling. Well, also, this is some of the better, like, there's hunks of good writing here from the original. Um, ah, and you should go with what is generally liked with what is you. This is huge. This is the biggest problem of my life, of my career. Um, so yeah, let's get out of this and talk. Um, do you reach? Is there a point in writing where you need to make a decision for an alternative, and you should go with what is generally liked versus what you would like to write? This is a hard question. This is one I struggled with all, like, from the beginning to the end of my career. Here's the deal. There are things that the industry likes. However, that has changed. The industry was a more unified thing from the 1930s through to the 2005. The industry was essentially would say, like, oh well, we think that comic book movies or action buddy comedies or rom-coms are in. They are what's selling right now. And those waves would last at least 2 or 3 years. I mean, it took that long to get a movie. Like, if a movie like Pretty Woman hit, then it would the people responding to that hit by making more things like that, it would take them a year or two. So therefore, these waves tended to go for 2 to 5 years at least. So therefore, if you were a writer and you were keeping an eye on what the industry wants, you could say, they want snazzy rom-coms. They want brutal, dark, Seven-like serial killer movies. Oh, they want action buddy comedies. Whatever it was that they wanted, that tended to be a thing. And all of the companies wanted the same thing. That was generally the way it worked, is that if something was a hit, all of the studios were trying to do it, which tended to make for an easy, like, this is what they're looking for. The tricky thing that happened is, as the universe of entertainment spread out, broke up into different streaming services, they no longer were in the business of saying, we are trying to feed a hungry theater-going audience who doesn't, nobody cares what channel came from. Nobody cares what studio made Top Gun. They just wanted to see certain stars in certain genres. And so therefore everyone could make them. But now going to a certain streaming service means that a lot of these streaming services are trying to identify themselves as, we are more family friendly. We are, like, Shudder is like more horror. But the other thing that's happening is they're saying, we want to have a library of everything you can want. So therefore, there isn't like we are looking for this. They are looking for a lot of different things to fill all their different slots. And you don't have to worry too much about, this is what they want, because they want a lot of different things. That said, they also want different things every few months, whereas it used to take 3 or 4 years for a trend to slide. Now, because of the way that digital stuff works, trends are changing literally every 2 or 3 months. Remember Squid Game? Like Squid Game was the hottest thing in the world. What was it? How many months ago was it? Not many, but it's pretty much forgotten now. Other things are, and then there was Red Notice, was like the big, it's a big action comedy with big stars, and different things are catching on. Then there's like documentaries are big. Whatever it is, the trend of the moment is 4 to 8 weeks. So you can't write fast enough to catch a trend now. So what I would say is, it is a better time to simply follow your vision. To say, this is the best time since the silent era to just say, I'm going to do what I do and hope that somebody else is in that business. I would recommend, there is the 4 things to know. I don't know. Interesting. I, and I don't have the career advice, do I? No, I don't. Okay, I did a video called Career Advice in a Time of Chaos, I think. I would strongly advise that. I also did a video called 4 Things Your Writer Should Know or something. These are on, I got to get my thumbnails all imported to this eCamp. Anyway, the point is, at the moment, there is less reason to fit the formula. The world of entertainment is more diverse and balkanized, broken up into all sorts of different areas. And so what you really want to do is be good at your vision. You want to be competent at what you want to do and able to think about more stuff like it or whatever it is that you want to do next. But there is not as much advantage to trying to do what they want. Many screenwriting advisors grew up or came into the business in the old days. And so they are still thinking desperately, I need to figure out what they want. You know what? Most of what they want is something really good, and they'll know it when they see it. So that's what I think. It is my opinion. First of all, if you are going to do something because it's what is generally liked, be sure that you are balancing that by doing something else that you love. If you just write what you think will sell, at the end of the day, when it doesn't sell, because most of the time it won't, even when I was in the business, when I had an agent and a manager and was working constantly, I wrote a dozen scripts that didn't sell. That were my vision. They were like, oh, this will be cool. And it wasn't that they were bad. They just didn't sell because most things don't sell. Most of the assignments I wrote didn't get made. That's just how the business worked. So therefore, what I would say is if you are spending all your time trying to get their attention with what they like, you are actually not providing your best shot, which is what you like, what you see. And my feeling is what if you fail? Wouldn't you rather have failed on something you love, something that you are glad you wrote, rather than, oh, this is what they want me to write? That's my take on that. Okay. This is the best advice I've ever heard in my life about anything ever. I like that. I'm screenshotting that. Cool. Thank you, Manga Express. Okay, good. Tavana, I hope that helped. Okay, meanwhile, the rest of you guys are talking about John Wick genre. The Beekeeper. Okay, yeah. Yes, Thumper. Supposedly there are writers who would put things in knowing that they will be changed. I don't think they... yeah. You know, that's a game I don't know that it's worth playing. Just do what you want to do. I would strongly advise you to, yes, spend your time paying attention to what the business is into, but look at what the Severance and the Western stuff on Paramount that Taylor Sheridan is doing. You know, and rom-coms and sitcoms, and we're doing everything. So there's no reason to say, oh, this is what they are doing. That is no longer the model of the industry. And even when it was the model of the industry, I don't know. It does not strike me as to your advantage to sell out without being paid. That's the other thing. Okay, so. Okay, cool. Well, okay, everybody. Everybody, thank you so much. Yay. Okay. It seems to me like I've said good things and I should stop talking while I'm ahead. So I am going to say see you tomorrow and go write something.